Welcome to the Magic Tavern. What do you bring to the table?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Magic Tavern podcast. I am Steps and joined today with BDC.
Howdy.
And that's it. Panda's not here today. He's sleeping.
He's asleep and he's been with one of the little ones today.
Yeah.
Well, last night, excuse me.
So it's been a little while. We've taken some time off for the holidays, moving, getting everything together, and good Lord, the news hasn't stopped.
You're going to have to drag me out of here. I don't want to move ever again.
Oh yeah, that's how I feel. Because we both ended up moving like weeks apart.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I can't say I don't want to move again because
I'm definitely. Both of us will be moving again. But
just is what it is.
yeah, it is.
Oh, so how about all that lovely MTG news?
Oh, Lord. I could, as soon, they had the Week of Metal, and that was pretty cool. It's like official spoilers. It's awesome. And then I guess they officially dropped the squirrel, I almost called him a rat, the squirrel last week. But everything else, but while I'm moving, every 2 minutes, there's some card spoiled from somewhere, somebody's living room table.
Yeah, I know. That's the weirdest part to me. I guess we'll start there, man. Some of these spoilers, they were supposedly pulled from Commander Legends packs.
I've heard that three times.
Like, if that's true, that's the biggest faux pas WotC's dealt with in a long time. Like, they just accidentally packed the wrong cards. Oops. Like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, I guess they could have done it on purpose and been like, "Hey, this will get them."
Well, that'd be sneaky. But see, if you did that, you never know how early. It's funny that after the Week of Metal, like I said, every so often you would have another card just pop up out of nowhere. Just the picture on the table somewhere.
And I mean, in conspiracy theory land, like if they wanted to, they could make sure those boxes didn't go out until later.
True, you're right.
And all that. They could do it. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm still really skeptical. I hope they're true, because if they're true,
there's so many of them.
The my favorite Phyrexians will be back.
Oh Lord, that thing has got talk about chatter on the internet.
Oh man,
I did at least get an article out about that. I've not been able to follow up on most of them, but it's a feeding frenzy, if you'll excuse the expression.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't seen it somehow and been under the proverbial rock for the last
spoilers,
couple
by
weeks.
the way.
Spoilers. I'll give you a second. Okay, you're still here.
Yeah.
All right. It's Vorinclex, one of the Praetor's
monstrous raider.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's doubling season on a body, so it'll double what any tokens or any counters they get.
If you put one or more counters, that's the weird thing. Counters, any counter.
Yeah, it's the same as doubling season does it too.
Yeah.
And that's any of your +1/+1 counters. The thing it was really made for with Phyrexians was poison counters.
Yes.
And infect.
No, it didn't have that on this card. Nothing about infect.
Yeah.
It does have trample and haste, and it's a 6/6 for 6. But it's so much more than that because it's, like you said, doubling season.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to have a lot of... It'll be the first time I've ever built a green deck in EDH, and I will build Vorinclex.
You think, if this thing's real, it's the price is going to go through the roof.
Oh, yeah, it'll be the most expensive card in the set, unless for somehow they dump something bigger.
Which is coming this next week, by the way.
Yeah, next week we get the official spoilers that'll start. Yeah, the 7th. So is that next Friday?
Yeah.
And that's when they'll do the big live stream and all that. And maybe I'll see if maybe we can stream that and watch it live with everybody.
Very cool.
It'd be kind of fun. Sit and talk about it then.
They usually do it in the middle of the day, like in the morning, don't they?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, we'll see what time it is. I may be able to work it out.
Well, Jimmy will be back.
Yeah, probably. I imagine, man.
That'd be awesome.
Those guys have done so much for Magic.
Ambassadors.
They're just being paid back. If you're going to have 2 ambassadors, you can't ask for 2 better people than Jimmy and Josh. They do a lot of work over there, and their whole team.
We love you guys.
Yeah. Invite us to play game nights.
Yeah, really? We're ready.
Jimmy, I swear I'll let you win.
Yeah, really. For once, I mean.
Oh, man, never get
Never. No, I'm sorry, Jimmy. No, come back here.
Anyway, yeah, so we had Vorinclex spoiled, quote unquote. The sagas are back, which I think is genius for Kaldheim. Yeah, almost. It was like going back to Theros and not having sagas. Like, that's the whole mythology, the whole storytelling
And
aspect. It's got to be there.
The great lattice work that they do in the artwork, of course, is always primo.
Yeah, the artwork has been spectacular as always.
There have been two that have been spoiled. We had the one that Watsy actually pulled out during the Week of Metal.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And two more spoiled. And we're getting dual. I swear if I see, was it a Mildis? The White Saga.
Oh yeah,
I see that so much on Arena these days.
Well, yeah, it's ramped for white. Like it's hard to ignore it.
You got to get whatever you can get.
You got to take it where you can get it.
Yeah, but we're getting dual color sagas.
Yeah.
Black red, and the other one was green white. So we might get one and maybe the major two color combinations.
Yeah, no, they announced during the Week of Metal thing, we'll get the enemy colors, I think it is.
Yeah.
The double-sided, what do they call them? The
dual modal.
Yeah, the dual modal lands, where it's one on one side, one on the other.
The artwork on those, like I said.
They are fantastic. They look very nice.
Can't wait to post some of those. I mean, I love showing off the artwork because these artists, every once in a while there'll be something like, but
it doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't.
Like most of the time, this art is spot on. It looks amazing, and it's good. I mean, they've really branched out with some of the artists, and they always bring back some people that just seeing the name, you're like, all right,
I'm in.
Let's do it. The art's fantastic. So what else we got with Kaldheim? We got Berserkers. Is a big thing apparently. Yeah,
the Dragonkin Berserker was spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 2/2 drop for 2/2. First strike. Boast. That's the one thing we haven't got confirmed. This whole card not confirmed, but Boast. A lot of people say it makes it highly suspect. But it's Boast abilities you activate cost one less to activate for each dragon you control.
Yeah, it seems that one of the themes will be dwarfs and dragons. I'm sure BDC is happy to see the dwarfs return.
Absolutely.
It's been a while. I mean, we got a few in like Eldraine, but we never got to actually know anything about them.
The two berserkers, excuse me, the two berserkers I see are human. That's okay. We'll forgive them for that. The Boast creates dragons.
Oh yeah.
It's a 4 and a red to create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. Mm-hmm. Big tokens again. And the other one was Arnie Brokenbrow. He has haste and also has Boast. So maybe all these berserkers. That's two cards right there we've seen that say Boast. He's a legendary too.
He's the one with the tooth in his head.
You may change Arnie Broken Brows. I won't say Broken Bow, being in Oklahoma here. Broken Brows base power to 1 plus the greatest power among other creatures.
Okay, so you got that 5/5 dragon. He'd be a 6.
Yeah.
So
and the Boast abilities seem to be very varied.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with dragons, and the other one had nothing to do with bumping abilities, but they're both Boast.
Oh yeah. Okay. The Planeswalkers look interesting. I think the only one that's been quote-unquote spoiled or leaked is Kaya, isn't it? And if that card is true, oh boy.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and read that one?
Actually, Kaya, the Inexorable, has been popped by Watsy. Let's see. It's a plus. It's a 3, a white and a black. Classic Kaya. +1, put ghost form counter on up to one target non-token creature. Sorry, Scootbug. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile. Return it to its owner's hand and create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Not bad.
It would work with the Foretold that we'll talk about in a minute. Anytime you put something into exile.
Oh, it's true. It's true. You're right. -3 is exile target non-land permanent. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
She goes well with my Johnny that kind of, he's not standard, but he comes in and you can just go -3, bam, get rid of something. that'd be a good combo. Removal. Then again, it's probably going to die the next turn. Anyway, -7, the big ability. You get an emblem, of course. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your hand, from your graveyard, or from among cards you haven't on an exile. If you're foretold something, it would be one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. We were talking earlier about it. Without paying its mana cost.
Yeah, that's brutal. If you can get her to 7, it's done. Like, especially because I'm always thinking EDH. If you put her in your Sisay legendary deck, if you can get to that 7 and that emblem, like it's on.
And on the other end of the table, if you can get that thing dead as fast as you can, it's probably a good idea because that's every upkeep.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Upkeep.
But it's always hard to alt your planeswalkers, especially in EDH.
I'll say I haven't. There was once. The only time I've been able to use a big ability, it was another Ajani.
Oh yeah.
I pull him out, but the whole thing is there's no cost to it. Basically, if you've got a certain amount over your life total.
Oh yeah.
So he's able to come in and wipe the other guy's board.
Oh no!
I love that. I can't remember which one it is.
If you've got this much life, you can wipe the board like you weren't already winning.
Yeah. Life game for the win for once.
Yeah. Oh no! Come on. Life game does all the work all the time. It's great.
Speaking of white, let's see here. We've got the Valkyries.
Yeah, which are angels.
Angels or angel clerics.
In this set. Yeah, it's interesting. The cleric tribal is real.
I'll tell you, between Zendikar and here,
I've
already got a cleric deck on Arena.
And there's some in M21.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Speaker of the Heavens. He's a cleric.
See, and that's the one thing I figured, talking about the party mechanic, which has not been great.
I don't think it will be until D&D comes out.
I think that might be the thought process now. But I thought, okay, Kaldheim, lots of fighters. Strixhaven, lots of wizards. But it doesn't look like they're really pushing it that hard. Most of them are berserkers, which not a surprise. That's one of the things we expected, kind of.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be more barbarian, berserker.
But it doesn't lend to the party mechanic. Although we haven't seen all the cards yet. So.
I'm sure we'll get plenty of warriors. But yeah, I think Strixhaven, of course, will have a ton of wizards in it.
But white, we got the god card that has been spoiled already. Halvar, God of Battle.
Oh yeah, he's double-sided, and the backside is the sword that you see in the trailer.
Sword of the Realms.
I find it really, really interesting the way they decided to go with that. Is that an official card? It is.
That's an official card, yeah.
I find it really interesting the way they decided to go with that. I love the idea of the god being on one side and their weapon on the other. Because you can either have the god or you can have the weapon that they gave somebody to do the work, right? Like, it's a Thor situation,
But why? My problem is, we talked about god cards like Theros.
Yeah.
And these come off of this one. I'm sorry, we've only got one so far, so it may change. But this one comes off a little weak compared to Theros, especially. Although in the mythos, the Vorthos, the gods of Theros are huge and
I was going to say,
yeah, so
it's a little different because the gods of Theros were overarching gods and ideas, where it seems here we're going to get more the Norse mythology kind of look at it, the closer to human than any other set of gods, really.
So I can't complain a whole lot there because it's true to the source material, really.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's good. I think if you add too many super powerful gods, and trust me, there's going to be a way to break them, and it's going to be ugly, and we're going to be going, oh crap, I didn't think about that.
Well, they said Halvar, creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. So basically, it comes in and he rallies the troops.
Man, it means that stupid Boggles deck's going to be even better.
Yep.
One with all that glitters. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, now they got double strike?
Yeah.
Oh, guess I'm building that deck.
Yep.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's probably going to be...
It'll be a white deck that runs like a red deck.
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
It's like it's funny because Watsy seems to be. We were talking about that earlier, messing with the meta. They always are because they've got to worry about. They listen to the chatter and they realize, well, this is too weak. We talked about green. It used to be, it's just big stompy things, hard to play, and now they've given them draw. They've given them lots of different. I mean,
green has everything.
Not the big mammoth.
The only thing green's not great at is straight up removal.
Yeah,
but who needs removal when you've got a 6/6 on the board every time?
Well, not the 6/5 battle mammoth.
Oh yeah, it's another card.
And if you play a spell against any of his the permanents of this guy, the owner of this guy's card, then you get to draw a card. We talked about card draw.
Yeah,
and then you got Toski.
Yeah,
the chatter,
the legendary squirrel, and he's official too.
He is very official. And people are really excited about that. Although I think Vorinclex kind of took a lot of the thunder away from him.
Yeah, Vorinclex definitely stole the thunder, which is sad in a way because we had an official card up against one we're not even sure is real. But you put a Phyrexian on anything and people lose their minds.
I know. It was unfortunate they came out so close together because we talked about Vorinclex in an article. They went mad for that. You have Toski, and it's sort of like, okay, that's nice.
Oh, look, it's a cute little squirrel.
It's a legendary freaking squirrel we've been screaming for years now.
Not only legendary squirrel, but he's indestructible.
Yes. Can't be countered.
Yeah, he can't be countered.
He attacks each combat available, but beat him. And if he does combat damage, guess what? He's green, and he draws a card.
Yeah. The green card draw has been crazy recently, because we got a lot of it in M21. Can't specifically remember much out of Zendikar, but I'm not gonna lie, I took quite a break off there through Zendikar. Didn't really play a ton on Arena.
Yeah, I kind of backed off a little bit, kind of stayed steady with a lot of those landfall decks.
Yeah.
Still haven't, of course we don't have all the cards, like I said. We'll start getting spoilers on the 7th, official spoilers. We'll start getting an idea of what is ahead comes to the meta of Standard.
Yeah, it's definitely going to change with this. Just from the official cards, it looks different. But it looks like it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It's going to change things a bit. I think it may be a real huge game changer. We'll have to find out what else is coming.
If a lot of those red cards we've seen are real and they are official, mono red will be fun again.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a little more viable than it has been recently. Like, you can do it. It's just not. It's not easy, and you're not winning a lot.
I get it pulled on me every once in a while, Arena. I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
I feel bad.
Yeah, it hurts my soul when red sucks.
I know it does you.
I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the Foretold. It's a new. Is it new?
Yes,
it's new,
it
right?
is brand new.
I've never heard of it before.
Sometimes you have to think. I have to sit and think about these. At first, I'm like, what is it? Morph with a few added mechanics.
Yeah. It's a little different. But
during your turn, let me go ahead and read it. You may pay 2 and exile this card from your hand face down. Sort of like Morph. But you can cast it on a later turn for its Foretold cost. Now, just like Morph or whatever it costs, they're going to be different for every card. It's all for how big or small the card is. This one's starts out as a 3 and 2 forest. The Foretell costs are 2 and 2 forests.
Yeah, so you get 1 off, but I had to pay 2 to get it into exile.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people talking about this is Watsy's way of trying to make cards playable. Even especially with green, these big stompies you can't do anything with, and you got them in your hand, and you're waiting for 6 or 7 mana.
Yeah.
They give you options, get it out on the field, get it ready. And it's in exile. It's not in your hand. They can't go in your hand and get it. Yeah. They can't wipe it off the battlefield because it's not actually on. It's exiled. So once you think about it, there's a lot of good things about exiling this card.
Yeah, but it rings of companion to me.
Yeah.
I've got to pay 2 to get it into exile. And then I've got to pay its Foretold cost, which in this case, which again won't be the same for all of them, but in this case, then I've got to pay 1 less
I'm
to
sure
get
there'll
it out.
be some smaller cards that'll be a lot more utilized, although this one's powerful.
Not only that, but I'm sure there'll be triggers for it, like something gets a +1/+1 every time you do it, or
still this sucker out, having to pay all its cost, right?
Yeah, without seeing more of them, it's going to be hard to judge it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I worry after things like Companion, where it went from just having it there to having to pay 3 to get it into my hand, and then I had to completely killed them.
Yes, it did.
You'll never see it again.
I mean, I see it every once in a while. Usually
I mean,
it's
like
Urion.
in a set. Like,
oh no,
they'll never do it again.
Why do it? I mean, you neutered it.
Yeah,
and they probably. I'm not saying, of course, they didn't foresee it, because if they foresaw it, they would have. they would have fixed it, maybe.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they did that whole thing. It didn't make any sense. I thought it was fine. I don't know. Like, the most annoying one to me was Urion, but that was only because Agent of Treachery and all that, and you got rid of Agent, so it was like, yeah, whatever.
Agent.
Yeah.
Winota.
It was a sad day, okay? It was like my favorite deck in a long time, and they were like,
They
okay,
took it away from
we can
me.
get rid of all of this. This is terrible. Steven's having fun.
It was, really. How dare
somebody
you?
get rid of that.
I feel that way too sometimes. It's like, they opened up with Omnath,
Yeah.
and I'm going, okay, and I bought into 4 of them. I know I got them back. Don't tell me that. But the whole point was, I get 4 of them, I get a decent deck going, and I hardly ever buy into the big cards.
Yeah.
And then so they're like, well, next week, banned. It's like, holy cow.
I was like, oh, come on, man.
I'm going to start playing cards just to get them to ban them. I'm
Yeah.
playing Scoop Bug pretty heavily right now.
That stupid scoop.
Yeah, it's controllable, those.
Yeah. So, I mean, with the way Kaldheim's looking, for one, I love the look of the set. Everything's, metal. And
They got the look right. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't complain.
it looks very Nordic. And, they even had metal bands.
Oh, yeah,
announce
that was-
the cards
that was-
and write songs.
Where did
and
they
stuff.
find these guys?
I don't know.
It's like, here's a metal band from Brazil.
Yeah. There was like one in Brazil. One of them is an actual, they call themselves Vikings.
Yeah.
And if you listen to their music, like, it's crazy. Like,
I'll have to go back and look up some of the. I don't think I heard all of them, but
that
was a great gimmick.
Yeah, no, it was good. It really worked out. But they had Luna Coil do the first one.
Yeah.
And that was crazy.
There's a teaser somewhere. I don't have it in front of me. We're not going to play it or anything. Come on the 7th, their theme is a metal kind of band playing this.
Yeah, I saw the little teaser thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. You can find it pretty easily on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, go check it out.
Just put in Kaldheim trailer teaser.
That part really, I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, no, they did a good job with the whole packaging of this one. I like it. My only problem with it is the same thing that we talked about in the article that came out today or yesterday, depending on how fast I get this podcast edited.
Yeah.
Is that we're going to this world for the first time. We're walking into absolute chaos with Tybalt and the whole world sword thing. If the Phyrexians are there, it's nice knowing you. Like, this world doesn't stand a chance.
Here's Kaldheim. Nice knowing you.
And now it's machine. But we got all that, and then it'll be done. And we'll never come back for years. And
a lot of people have been voicing the same thing that you voiced in that article. We won't go through it. You can go read it. But yeah, there's something missing. We're going too fast, maybe, because we were excited, and I'm still excited about this year with even Strixhaven, which is probably the least favorite on my list. Innistrad's coming back in a big way, and then Forgotten Realms, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they're hitting it like bam, bam, bam.
I need this COVID thing to be wrapped up and done
Yes.
by around the middle of the year, because I need to be in a store just drafting this time after time.
Yep.
I need to play the Forgotten Realms a lot.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. But then when you do it that way, you don't have the setup for the for the new planes. I know Forgotten Realms is not a problem. It's
Yeah.
an Innistrad they've done before, but Strixhaven and Kaldheim we've never seen before. And what I'm thinking is, yeah, we've got Tybalt messing with things like we had Oko in Eldraine.
Yeah,
but I don't think it'll mess with the feng shui and looking at the introduction any worse than or better either way. I think it'll hurt it. And I think that a Vornaclex card, I don't know how they can introduce it and it not really have much effect on the Vorthos.
Yeah, no, it has to. It can't.
My theory, and what I'm hoping because I want it to be minuscule. I want Vornaclex's effect on the plane to be minuscule. And I know I'm asking for a lot, but I'm thinking they're just dropping tidbits. And one of my pitches for myself, if I were doing it, just drop a Phyrexian every time. Don't say a word.
Just one in every
just
set.
Drop a Phyrexian in every set. Strixhaven, the whole deal.
Dear God, if they put a Phyrexian in the Forgotten Realms,
that's the one I wonder. Yeah, that's hard.
I am really surprised that the Forgotten Realms is a standard set.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it didn't take the place of Time Spiral set this year.
I could have understood that actually.
Yeah,
because it takes it away from the standard meta.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like you didn't just introduce D&D to Magic. You straight up threw it in headlong.
Well, I'm sure we talked about this. They plan these 3 years ahead. Now they've been doing the little crossovers with the planes. What's the word? The planes introductions.
Oh yeah, the plane chase.
Yeah,
or
whatever. And showing you how to play D&D in these worlds.
Yeah.
Which, if I had time, I'd definitely do it.
Oh yeah, it'd be really fun.
But I think the long-term plan. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You own both of them. You own both of them for what, over a decade?
Yeah.
and you've done some minuscule crossing over. I say minuscule, and the Theros book was amazing.
Yeah, the Theros book was great. I really think they'll release another one this year.
Yeah.
I figure it'll be Zendikar.
That would be great. Because that's the one article I wrote. It's pitching Zendikar.
Because I heard other people talk about maybe they do Innistrad, but that's, to me, it's too much like Ravenloft right now.
Yeah.
And the whole Curse of Shroud campaign is huge.
Let's do Innistrad versus Raven.
Man, if Innistrad showed up, Edgar and Soren would eat Shroud for breakfast.
Oh, poor guy. Hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Well, it's not my fault.
It's not our problem.
The Markovs would take over quickly.
He's a big
It'd be
Mark.
the curse of Markov.
He's a mark for the Markovs.
Yeah, how about that?
But yeah, I think some of the Vornaclex think hoping it's going to be a minuscule little part, just kind of a teaser, maybe for a future overall plan. I mean, no one believes that you can drop a Phyrexian in anything and say it's just a minor thing. It's not going to affect everything.
I think with the Phyrexians, to me, one or two things has to happen, right? Either A, this is a oops, Tybalt accidentally opened the wrong the wrong portal or whatever for a second, and Vorinclex and part of his swarm gets through, but it's not the whole thing. And you make him the big bad and they kill him.
Here's what Kaya's here for.
But she hunts ghosts.
I know. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. But, so you got that. But the only way to put all these Praetors in different worlds and have it make any sense for a story is either A, there's got to be somebody behind it pulling strings to make it all converge at once.
Yeah. Like
Yawgmoth's not dead.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're back.
They made it very inconspicuous, okay? Like, they didn't... Anyway, I don't think he's still alive.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I think we would need a Phyrexian planeswalker.
Yeah,
that could walk the planes back and forth. And the only one that I could see doing that is Atraxa. Mm-hmm. If Atraxa's even still alive, I'd have to look it up.
They tried to spoil a card like that. It didn't fly. That one was proven...
Which one?
Was it Atraxa? What was the name of that?
It wasn't a planeswalker. It was Elish Norn.
No, Elish Norn. I'm sorry. That's right.
Yeah.
It was Elish Norn.
Yeah, they tried to do another one, and it did. Everybody went, no.
Until somebody said, hey, he spoiled one. Maybe I can make one up over here.
Yeah, they made it look like that thing from Pan's Labyrinth. And the card was the exact same as the original, but with a different name. And it just didn't.
And the artwork was actually traceable.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to put an image into Google now and go, oh, hey, look.
Oh, yeah, they do the Magic cards customs all the time. You can find them all over the place.
Oh, yeah, there's some good ones.
Pretty cool.
That one's cool. Sorry, I looked over at the computer. I forgot about the wolf. What's his name?
Sarlf, Realm Eater. He's a black-green and a 1. Kind of a cheap card for such a cool-looking card. Whenever a permanent opponent controls is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter. Talk about certain mechanics that WotC's been pushing. Especially on Arena, you get a lot of this. If I can kill your creatures, I ramp.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 cards already that do that. You add that. And there's also a set that says if my creatures die, I ramp.
Yeah.
But more so if one of your opponent's creatures die. So this is another one. A black-green, maybe every time I say black-green, I think graveyard, but it's
that's kind of the overarching theme usually.
We don't get a whole lot of that now, though. Less and less are people reaching to their graveyards.
Yeah, it's lacked for a while.
Well, once the
but it usually has something to do with the graveyard, like that. Like it's creatures going to it. Yeah, it's a nice. It's probably one of the best looking cards. Yeah, they've got the showcase art, of course, and these look very Nordic. They look really nice, and this wolf is supposed to be, what is it, Fenrir?
Fenrir, yeah. I believe it's yeah.
It looks. It's a massive wolf.
WotC's done it as they always do it, and I really respect him for it. It's like, take from the myths and add it to your Vorthos, but they never just cookie cutter anything. They always.
Oh, yeah. Well, they definitely made it their own. Like, there's a few of the cards you can look at and go, okay, well, that's kind of a tie to here. Like, they did the same thing in Theros. We had Haktos, he has protection from every number except for 1 mana cost, and it's Achilles.
Yeah, basically.
He's invincible unless you've got this one thing. And so they've always done that.
But you don't see him ever again. I haven't seen anything out of him lately.
I use him.
I know.
I still have a Winota deck. It's just not as powerful as it used to be.
Thanks a lot. Nostalgia.
Yep.
But a lot of style, a lot of great cards. So far, we saw a lot of good cards. Magda, the Brazen Outlaw, we never got to that one.
It's like a Dwarf Lord, isn't it?
That's the best Dwarf I've seen in a while, and everyone's like, Dwarf Tribal is back in a big way. We did an article on it. It ramps all your dwarfs, and whenever dwarf you control becomes tapped, like you start to attack, then you get a treasure token.
Yeah.
It's the Brazen Outlaw. It's
there's a couple other red cards that deal a lot with treasure tokens and artifacts, which treasure tokens are artifacts. So
I'm glad they found a different way of dealing with the treasure tokens rather than the pirates. They really should have been doing a lot more with it. We got a lot of the food tokens back in Eldraine.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen treasure tokens since Ixalan.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, at least on a large scale.
Yeah. So it looks like it might come. This may be the only card, but
no, there was like 2 or 3 red cards that dealt with them and did different things.
Yeah, I'll have to dig a little farther.
Like one of them was sacrificing like 4 or 5 artifacts, and it did something. The only way you're doing that is token generation. Like you're not casting enough artifacts to sack 4 or 5.
Yeah, equipments and vehicles are back in red, pretty strong.
Yeah, isn't one of the vehicles like a little mech thing? It looks like some dwarfs with a.
There's a sorcery.
Oh, that's right. It's a card with a little
but
mech
it's got
thing
a big
on it.
mech thing on it, and you're like, give us the mech.
Yeah.
Just don't screw around with us. Give us the mech.
Yeah, it's got to be
the only vehicle
in there, right? Like they've got to do it.
It's got to. No, the only vehicle they've shown so far is the the gilded assault cart. It's a mine cart.
It looks like a mine cart.
Cruise 2. It's got trample. it's a 3-drop for a 5/1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weak on the.
Yeah, you only crew it if you know you're getting through.
But it does have the treasure thing. It works really well with you sacrifice 2 treasures. You can return it from the graveyard to your hand. So it'll work real well with the others.
Yeah.
And talking about dwarfs and red and equipments, the bearded axe. It's a 3-drop, equip 2. Equip creature gets +1/+1 for each dwarf equipment and or vehicle you control.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's going to be.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Really nice.
Especially
like your 7 doors.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's running equipments and mostly equipments now because I foresee this coming. Now that I saw the card, I had enchantments, but you could go. It's in red white. You can go to the enchantments and the other card we were looking at, enchantment ramp or equipment ramp. But this really points towards
you're talking about the god that gives everything double strike.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's equipments too. So
yeah,
you just go equipments. It's red and white already. That God's Play going to end up in it. The bearded axe and the gilded assault card or whatever I can get in there.
I'm just still waiting to see the world snake.
Yeah,
like they've got to have some analog there, right?
It was spoiled real early in October. One of the one of these figure companies that sells the figures. WizKid, and they had spoiled a couple of gods.
Yeah. You should go back and look at it. Was one of the gods they spoiled that guy? No, it was a different one.
One was the god of justice. It was a female.
Yeah, I remember there being the female,
and the one that looked more like Odin.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that was his picture on one of the theme packs.
Yeah.
White bearded guy with a big green cloak. He had. I thought it was like a big axe.
Yeah,
but it may have been a spear like Odin's
with a spear
with light emanating from it. When you do that with figures, you have to do wacky things. It sort of looked like an axe, but it could have been light. But anyway, go back and look at that article. Anyway,
train of thought has been derailed.
It's crashed into the gorge.
All right, it's okay.
Let's start.
But what is that? The Pyre of Heroes or Hymns?
Mm-hmm. That looks
like a lot of fun. It's go ahead and read that one.
All right, it's a 2-drop. It's an artifact. 2. You also pay once you have it out 2 and tap it. Sacrifice a creature. It's the pyre. You're burning the creature on the pyre, right? Search your library for a creature card that shares the creature type with the sacrificed creature and has converted mana cost equal to 1+ that creature's converted mana cost. So you keep burning it.
It's
for
a
bigger
birthing pod for tribal.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And right across from it here on the page is one of the shapeshifters, which we haven't gotten to see a lot of them.
Man, if you burn the shapeshifters, though, they count as any type. You'll get anything.
You can get anything as long as it.
Yeah.
This one's the Glade Walker Ritualist. It's a 3-drop. It's got the change. This is what you got to look for when you see shapeshifter. Does it have the changeling ability? Some of them do not. I know because I've been collecting these cards ever since I got back into Magic a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And this one definitely has it. It has changeling, so it's every creature type. So if you did, like you said, if you burned it on the pyre, you could go after any card. Whenever the creature named Guild Walker Ritualist enters the battlefield under your control, it's green. Guess what it does?
It draws a card.
It draws a card, yeah.
My God.
And Watsy.
I mean, pretty soon, just every time you sit down to play Magic, it's just going to be green decks. Green and blue.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, besides the mill decks, I feel like I'm the only one doing draw decks. You know, I got the Jungle Queen out there, and I've got...
Not for long. You're going to have all sorts of draw decks.
Yeah, I know, man. Minute. I'll have to totally rethink what I'm doing.
Because you're still using the Iron Craig.
Oh, yeah, the Pyromancer.
Yeah, that's it.
Red, green? Yeah, red, green, blue, of course. Blue.
It's hard to do card draw without blue.
The lore Skeletal, which has always been one of my favorites. Back from when I started Amonkhet, the first time I played, that was one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
And I've since found ways of breaking the hell out of it. Rousing Read. We won't get into mechanics, but there's lots of great ways of ramping that one. But then there's plenty of green cards, especially when it comes to the draw, that I'm going to be able to add onto this.
Well, I mean, bottom line, the Kaldheim looks fun.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited to go to a new land,
I'll give
a
it
new plane.
Give it at least a B, not a B+.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what else they do, because it is already looking good, and there's so much more to come next week and the week after. Then we'll finally get to play it, and it'll be a lot. There's a lot of information coming.
Maybe someday we'll be a part of a spoiler celebration.
It's one of my goals for 2021. I just want one preview card.
We're here and ready, Watsy. Bring it.
Yes, we'll gladly do it. And you don't have to pay us. It's fine.
Give us a green card to draw. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It is. You always draft it.
Then not far behind that, you know what, a month and a half, 2 months, you got the Time Spiral.
Oh, yeah.
Which isn't a standard set. It's one of the auxiliary sets.
I get stuck in standard really deep because I've been in arena a lot lately.
So you got that, then you got Strixhaven, and then you've got Forgotten Realms.
Innistrad.
And before Innistrad, you've got Modern Horizons 2. And then Innistrad. And then there's always something in December.
And not bad enough to get Innistrad coming out. You got vampires and werewolves, two different sets.
2 actual sets. So I'm sure there'll be smaller sets, but it's still 2 sets.
I mean, we'll talk later on it, but...
And everything gets 2 commander decks now.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that they may just make a werewolf versus vampire set.
Well, I'm sure there will only be 8 vampire commander deck and a werewolf one.
Say.
I think it's a little too much to do 4 of them.
I do like what they've been doing.
I think it's better than doing a drop once a year.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. People are... Well, it's because...
Especially for my wallet, you make it a little easier. I don't have to try to figure out how to get 5 of them at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then people go and buy all the good one.
Yeah, and then try to sell them for more.
Yeah, sell them for $100 on eBay.
Damn capitalist.
I mean, I'm fine unless you go in there and rake the whole thing into your Walmart cart.
I know, man. But yeah, I think things are going better that way. They definitely give a lot of respect to Commander, which they have to.
Yeah. Everybody bless the golden calf.
All hail Commander.
Yeah. Yeah, you've almost got to. Even Mark Rosewater the other day admitted that if it wasn't for Commander, this game would be in real trouble. But at the same time, what I heard when he said that was if it wasn't for Commander, we'd have to try a lot harder.
Yeah.
Commander was... It's another article idea that I'm going to bounce around here, and then I'll probably end up writing it. Commander was more fun when they weren't designing it for Commander.
Yeah.
It was harder. You had to find little loopholes and little tricks here and there. And now they print a card and you go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. This is the deck. This is easy. Mm-hmm. And it's meh.
Well, see, that gets back to the whole thing. They're trying to make it easier on, I hear this time and time again, for new players.
So where's the set for the veteran player? Because we do this with every set. Mm-hmm. Every set now feels dumbed down.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's still fun. I know it sounds like I'm bitching endlessly about it, but it just feels too on the nose. It's like when Jumpstart came out, right? I've had a Goblin EDH deck since we started playing EDH. They've always been my favorite. And Muxus comes out and you go, oh, well, that guy's obviously the commander, right?
It's like that they had a flyer and it say, this is where you put the Muxus.
Yeah, exactly.
But some cards just scream, certain types of deck. I mean, you have to work a little harder to be different.
Yeah, I get it. It's just a lot of it has seemed on the nose.
I mean, some of those decks that they built have been really good. The Castrol deck from Ikoria I got early on.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been real pleased with it. And I think I maybe changed that one card. I'm afraid to mess with it because I like the feng shui.
Yeah. They do a good job with their starter decks. I like, a lot of people think they're too weak. I tend to like the more casual end of just playing and having fun and not having to worry about having a bunch of $30, $40, $200 cards in my deck.
You want to learn. Watch Josh and Jimmy.
Yeah.
And watch Mitch over Commander's quarters.
Yeah. He's the king of budget.
Oh, definitely.
Watching the decks he puts together on a budget, you're like, dang.
He's still. Right. I mean, he's been hitting it hard lately on all the spoilers.
Oh yeah.
But what he tells you is very helpful.
Yeah, no, he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to do his research. The guys over at the Command Zone, they definitely know what they're talking about. If you just listen to like the podcast, you watch the game nights though, and some of those cards they pull out, I'm like, you just played like a $300 land,
dude. I told you months ago. I sit down and watched a video they did about. This is about card draw.
It was card advantage.
What card advantage is, and it was like being in algebra again. I was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, it might as well have been called Card Advantage 101.
Yeah.
Because it was a college course.
It was, man. They were, and I appreciated that. I don't think I was ready to go as deep as they were ready to take me.
Yeah, they were ready to walk you through the deep end of the pool.
But the point is, they knew what they're talking about, and they thought about this, and they are professors in this area. Mm-hmm. So listen to them. You can find other guys like them who know a lot about Commander exclusively.
I love listening to Shivam a lot.
Mm-hmm. I need to listen to him more.
His Casual Magic podcast. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I haven't.
His podcast is a lot of fun. He's a lot like us. Very casual.
Yeah.
Doesn't like the competitive end of it.
Oh, Lord.
Which is fine.
Started. Yeah, that's fine. Like, everybody, each their own.
If I thought that I had the money, time, and patience to build a CD EDH deck, I would. Because I do like competition. I like the speed of those kind of games. But I just don't.
I'm afraid of what I've become.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some decks now that when we sit down to play, I'm like, I should not pull that deck out. Like, that's just not fair.
It's sort of like taking the ring to Mordor, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do I burn it?
After all, why shouldn't I keep it?
Why shouldn't I play the land destruction?
Yeah. Why not Eldrazi?
God.
Yeah.
Might as well say it, Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, Nicol Bolas. But to me, games are more fun. Like the last game nights that you watch, when they built all their decks around a Christmas song.
I hope they do more.
And the decks, were they powerful? No.
Fun as hell.
I've never seen anybody play the Silent Submersible ever.
Yeah.
And Josh pulls out this.
Trying to explain why the reindeer's driving it.
Yeah. Oh, so good. But it made for such a fun game, and people were laughing and having a great time. It was fun to watch.
But I want them to give up what they do and do that alone. No. But mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
It was a lot of fun.
Do it for holidays.
It was great to watch. Big advertisement for their show here. But long story short, there's resources out there.
Yeah. There's lots of great people. And there's lots of great people that aren't that big that are out there playing Magic, either Standard or Commander. Find those that inform you or entertain you. That's what it's out there for. Yeah,
there's so many. Everybody knows the big ones. You know, Professor.
Yeah.
Pleasant Kenobi.
Did you hear what he did this week?
No.
I haven't really researched it, but I think I know what he did.
Oh no.
If I read it correctly, and you all can set me straight, I believe he wrote the same article, one negative, one positive, the things that Watsy's done. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what he did?
Yeah, he does that every year.
And he comes back. Does he do that every year? Because he came back and he's like, the negative one got twice as many views.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about. It was last year. And
YouTube basically admitted that they pushed the negative one harder than the positive one.
Yeah, because it'll get more clicks. It's ridiculous.
And that controversy, sales.
Like, the Professor, at least last year and this year, I saw him do it both times. He puts out the good one first.
Yeah.
And he will go out of his way to share it and comment all the time going, please watch this one. Like, everybody watches the negative one.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at what they're doing right.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Burn it down.
Yeah. That's sad.
I watched for some wisdom from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, God.
I was watching it last night as I was falling asleep. It's a great thing to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
One of the last things I heard was Ben Affleck when they were talking about, what's the internet and all that. And he's like, well, this is a forum board where people come to discuss people they claim to hate but yet can't stop talking about. And that's how I feel about Magic a lot. There are a lot of people that like to just sit around and complain for the sake of complaining about a game that they buy endless amounts of product from.
Pour money into it and then complain out the other end of their mouth.
And don't get me wrong, I've got problems with it. I've got issues with some of the stuff they're doing, but overall it's a very fun game, and they've done a great job to keep it alive for 28 years this year.
Then they're like, we're going to create our own Magic game.
Yeah. Never mind. Just walk away from that.
I'm like leading you into those things.
But, they've got new competitors on the horizon. They've got Flesh and Blood. And if Flesh and Blood keeps doing what it's doing now, good. It'll be competition. It'll force them to get better.
Look forward to playing that and Runeterra.
Yeah, Runeterra Online is fun. I think Arena's got a lot it could learn. Just some of the friends stuff. And like me and Philip tried to play a game the other day. Mm-hmm. And just getting to be friends on it was so insane. Yeah. And then finally getting to play together. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, we spent 40 minutes.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard.
I'm like, man, we could have played like 80 games by now with the decks I run. Like, because my decks are feast or famine. Like, I'm either going to kill you quick or I am toast.
I'm going to grind you to dust. It's going to take you forever to kill me.
I hate playing your decks because it's like turn 82. And I'm like, how am I not dead yet? Oh, that's right. He's just gaining life. He's not hurting me.
Man, I find myself, you get the inclination. Maybe I should quit. Oh, God, like 30 or 40 life. Why would I quit?
You've sent me screenshots with your life total over like 600. And I'm like, I would have quit. So if you break 100, I'm out. Like,
I played people
I'm not coming back from that.
They had like 200 or 300 more life than me. And it was quite a challenge.
That's ridiculous.
Someday I'll get that.
This isn't a game of whose life hit zero first. This is a question of who's got a life and got to go first.
No, that's right. That's right. I've had people quit because they're just tired.
Yeah.
They got to go take a nap.
My deck may not be better than yours, but I bet you can't kill it.
Good luck. Remember, it reminds me of the Raw Deal deck.
Oh, yeah.
I love graveyard decks because they keep coming back with basically Mitch Foley.
Mitch Foley? Is that Mick's brother?
Yeah, that's Mick's brother. No, but it was a Mankind deck. But I think I had... Anyway, it didn't matter.
You had the 3 faces.
It kept coming back. It's just like Foley. You knock him down, and he drags his ass back up. He's
good old Mitch. Everybody knows Mitch.
Shut up.
All right.
Mitch going to show up on your doorstep someday.
Is Mick going to drive him?
Probably. His fourth face, anyway.
As long as I get to see both Foley brothers, I'll be all right.
We just lost half the audience going, who the hell is Mick Foley?
If you don't know who Mick Foley is, go Google it.
Yeah. Watch some of his videos.
Go to YouTube. Put in Mankind Hell in a Cell. There you go.
Or I Quit match.
Yeah.
Some pretty stuff.
Don't watch that. Where The Rock gave him brain damage.
Yeah. The brain damage. Anyway,
I digress.
We digressed. So,
but I'm excited to see what Flesh and Blood can do. I think next week on the podcast we'll talk more about it because by then we should have been able to play.
Name a day, I'll be there.
Oh, that'd be a good time. I've watched a lot of videos of it, people playing it. Channel Fireball has actually got some videos now of people playing, and it's a very different game.
There's a sign when they start getting sponsorships, but getting time on people's channels.
It's definitely crazy. It's got its own issues right now, and that's collectors going nuts.
Yeah, that second, what do they call that? It's not secondary market. It's is that what they call it? Yeah. It's like, how much is this worth?
The original alpha boxes are selling for over $1,000.
Yes,
already. This game has been out for what, 2 years, year and a half. Nobody ever heard of it.
Sell that box in a heartbeat.
Like 6 months ago, I would too.
Yeah,
if I had one.
Yeah.
I've got 2 boxes of the unlimited,
Yeah.
which is not worth
Not worth that.
that. But it's crazy because you got like the decks that I bought for us to play with.
Mm-hmm.
I paid like $70 for 2 of them.
Yeah.
And that's because you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah.
And that price was a deal from a friend.
Do you think that that whole secondary market might kill it in the long run if it didn't stop?
If Flesh and Blood doesn't start pumping out product left, right, and center quickly, yes, it'll kill it. Because who's going to play a game when they got to pay $1,000 for a booster box?
Keep your eyes on. Don't give up on it yet. Just keep your eyes on it.
From what I understand, when they did the deal with like Channel Fireball, and they're on TCG now, all this different stuff, it was a way to get more capital to make more product faster.
I'm sure they've got the wheels of industry burning right now.
Yeah, and they've got the unlimited sets that have come out for the original, which is Welcome to Wraith. Rathe, I think it's pronounced Wraith. Mm-hmm. And then the second set, they've got an unlimited run on that too. Nice. And they'll probably do it for the third set because that one's sold out wherever you can look.
Yeah, they'll probably level out pretty quick.
I'm hoping it does because it looks like a lot of fun. But nobody's going to know if it's a lot of fun. Nobody can afford to buy it.
I know. And yeah, I think, like I said,
it's the biggest dichotomy. Like I wrote an article about it months ago. It's called "The Game I Wish I Could Play."
Yeah,
and so many people were like, "Is this an ad?" I just told you I can't play it. Like,
yeah, really. We're being sponsored, but we can't play it.
Yeah, it's a sponsored article where I don't have the cards.
This is not a gimmick, people.
Yeah. And I finally got a hold of some of them. Like I said, I had to sit and make the conscious decision to pay that much. Because these decks are like $15 in the store. Yeah. If you can find them.
If you can find them, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, good God. And don't get me wrong, like, the friend I got them from, he was like, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to sell them? I was like, no, I want to play this game.
We're invested in it.
Because, yeah, these decks sell for $90 a piece now. And it's insane.
That's crazy.
Nobody can play this game.
So just keep your eyes on it. Once it starts, the next set comes out, jump on it.
Yeah, dear God, if you see it in your store, just buy some, play it, and if you hate it, sell it on eBay for 3 times what you paid for it.
More than likely, yeah. Give it a shot.
It's crazy. It looks like a lot of fun. I think it'll be much bigger in the year to come. I think the thing that slowed them down a lot was COVID.
Oh, yeah, like everything else.
COVID really hurt them.
Didn't seem to slow WotC down, though.
Nothing can slow that juggernaut down.
Pumping cards out left and right.
Yeah, no, they don't stop.
So many trees dying.
So how long do you think until we see the Game of Thrones Secret Lair drop from Kaldheim?
You know, it could happen at any moment.
And then Harry Potter with Strixhaven.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an obvious, I mean...
Yeah, there's a D&D movie slated to really be pumped up by the end of this year. I wonder if we'll get that Secret Lair when Chris Pine's ugly face on one of my cards.
Oh, poor Chris Pine. You hurt his feelings.
I'm sure he's dried his tear with the $100 bills he made from Wonder Woman. Actually, I shouldn't talk crap on him. He's the best part of that movie.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
It was okay. We talked about it earlier. We're getting away from the tabletop talk, yeah. But it's fine. Wonder Woman, was it 84?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fine movie. Mm-hmm. If they cut out 30 minutes of it, there was so many times I was in there watching the movie going, "Why? Why is this in here?"
Minimalism.
Yeah. It was fine. What's his name? Pedro... The guy from The Mandalorian. Pascal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's playing Max Lord.
Yeah, see, I didn't make the connection.
He does a great job. I think Gal Gadot was great. It's Wonder Woman. Same thing she did in the first one. And she does great. What's her name that played...
Cheetah.
Yeah, I was trying to think of her actual name. I can't remember.
Name.
All the actors in it did fine. It was more of a, what do they call it? Filmography?
Editing problem?
No, it was some of the shots, the way they were set up.
Right.
It was like, it's so weird. Why? The storytelling was muddled because there was so much in it you didn't really need. Besides those two, I mean, for a Warner Brothers movie, I don't know why I'm complaining. Like, it was good.
I know, you got to cut them some slack. Maybe they'll come along. Maybe they'll learn something.
You know, the 3 biggest properties in comic books, and you can't figure this out. Anyway, let's talk for another day.
Yeah.
Any hopes for tabletop D&D Magic for 2021?
Well, I get some kind of news from Watsy out of D&D. They've been so deep. I mean, of course, we just got Tasha's. I understand that. But that's been, what, a month or 2 ago?
Yeah, a month. Yeah. It's been really quiet on the D&D front.
I mean, I like D&D talk even more than Magic, and I like Magic talk. I love it. But there's just not been a lot of talk. You have to make things up.
I think I just get fatigued with the amount of Magic talk there is. It never stops.
Yeah, you know, we both took time off in the last month to move, and they turn around, especially last week. I've been out of pocket, and every time I turn around, there's a new car, and it's like I cannot keep up.
Yeah,
even if I wasn't moving, it would have been hard to keep up.
It's been brutal. I hope we get more D&D stuff. I hope we get another D&D Magic crossover in the form of a book. I don't even care which plane it is. It can be any of them.
I don't need to just pour it out. Because Theros was very original. It's an original place to begin with, and it felt like a different world.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a whole different thing. And the way they did the book was so good that you could put it anywhere. Mm-hmm. In any world you wanted to. It would be like a different continent with its own gods. And it was crazy. But yeah. So, you got anything else before we wrap this week up?
No, God help White and Magic. Life game, please.
Please help.
I mean, we've seen some good movement toward that with some of these angels, but
yeah, I think White's going to get a lot of help with some of these angels and what they do with if your life total's over this, like Speaker of the Heavens, Cleric, Tribal, Cleric, and Angels. Be good.
I look forward to building it.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll just do the lovely housekeeping stuff. We're going to be back to streaming finally with the new year. Feels like an eternity since we've done it. We'll be streaming tomorrow night, which is Sunday the 3rd. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back every Tuesday and Thursday. And
I'll probably, I've got a new computer coming and should have it up in the next week and start streaming pretty hard along with him. I'll probably do some streaming of Arena. Probably get more reactions and whatnot from videos, but I'm going to go ahead and stream a little bit. But besides that, some D&D content. Try to get back into that part of tabletop because I'm working on a book that I'd like to get out someday.
Yeah. We're working on a couple different things for D&D to supplement in your games.
Yeah, this is our first, and our forte, we're starting to learn this. It's like anybody else. You've got to find your niche. Mm-hmm. Is stuff that other people aren't talking about. I delved back pretty deep, back to 1E, but looking at old mythos and lore and storylines and find things that people aren't talking about.
Yeah.
That's what
we got all sorts of fun stuff coming up. Actually, right now we're doing a giveaway over on our Facebook, which is just www.facebook.com/themagictavernlgs. Go check that out. It's the pin post on the top. We're giving away foil promo packs for Magic the Gathering. So yeah, you can go check that out to keep up with all the new articles that are coming out. The videos for YouTube that'll be coming out now.
There'll be a whole lot more content this year.
Yeah.
We're gearing up for, like you said, the videos especially. I enjoy some of the crazy stuff that happens on Arena. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. There's never a lack of what the fuck moments when you're playing.
We look forward to the year to come. I really do. We're going to just talking about it personally between the Magic Tavern guys playing more D&D this year. Mm-hmm. Amongst ourselves, of course, we're we can do that. Where you can't do that out and about. We can play Magic. I look forward to expanding our circle of influence and playing with other people here pretty soon. Hopefully, God.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like playing Magic.
Yeah, just tired of getting beat.
Okay. And with that, no.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to listen. We'll be back pretty much weekly now, and with the stream. Stay tuned to the social medias to see where to find those streams. We're kind of kicking around the idea of going to YouTube over Twitch for various reasons, but we'll get into that later. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen, and we will see you next week.
See you later.
Thanks for stopping by. Why don't you give us a like, a share, and subscribe below. I'll see you soon.